Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Mentium Podcast. Today, I am really honored and pleased to welcome two beautiful souls, my dear friends. I call them the power couple, Dr. Chioma and Mr. Arinze. Please talk to us about yourself. Ladies first, let's start with Dr. Chioma.
Thank you for having us. Okay. Talk about myself. I think that's one of the hardest questions for me to answer because I'm not even sure where to start from. Social life, professional life, where do I start? Okay. Chioma is a woman from Nigeria. I'm originally from Nigeria. I spent most of my childhood in Nigeria. I relocated to the United States in 2009 for a better life, they say, the American dream. My parents always wanted me to further my education. I had my bachelor's degree in Nigeria with public administration. And my parents thought, it was time to explore the world and do something else. So we decided to, start looking for schools abroad. We tried the UK, we tried the United States, and I think we weighed the options and the United States was better. So I moved over to the United States back in 2009. My first step was Indiana. That was my grad school. So that was Valparaiso University. I did my master's degree there. That was in international commerce and policy. It was a big culture shock for me, let me tell you. In Nigeria, oh goodness, the culture is so different. Like, especially the school I came from, back in Nigeria, it was a private Catholic school. Like, growing up, we've always been in private schools. So I got to the US, to Indiana, and I said, boy and girl holding hands. I'm like, we don't see this in Nigeria, it was so different for me,
Wow.
and it was culture shock. And then the food, everything, they'll say, oh, we have, campus lunch. And I go there expecting to see my jollof rice and things. All I see is hot dog and hamburger.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, something new. So I just tried them. And then I finished my school there, graduated. And after that, I moved to Arkansas to stay with my family. Then in Arkansas, I worked for a little bit, just still trying to find myself. I was looking for, what next, what's going on for me. And I had a background in modeling and beauty pageantry. So I decided to pursue that when I graduated. So I was doing that part-time. And then I got in touch with Barbies on USA. I started to work for them. I was an instructor there for a couple of years.
Okay.
Won so many awards, which was good.
Wow.
And then I was working in a law firm. I worked at a bakery. I worked so many places until I, finally found myself. Yes. After that, I decided to start my PhD, my degree, just go do something, further with my life. So But I got, online looking for schools. And then I recall my dad in my childhood, he had so many books on IO psychology. That's industrial organizational psychology. So I'm like, let me just see what this is all about. So I decided to, go for my PhD in that program. After that, it's a long story, but I'm just going to keep it short.
Well,
So after I got my degree, in the process of getting my degree, that's when I met my husband. Yeah, I moved to Nigeria and just for a while, I actually went to visit and then I was supposed to come back to the US, but then that's when I met my husband and then, I got married in Nigeria, came back here, had my kids and I'm back here again, and that's kind of my little history of how I came to the United States.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It's always powerful when you hear people talk about their experiences. Something that I would like to come back to is life in Nigeria. But let's allow Mr. Arinze to tell us a little bit about himself, his background, how he got here before we delve deep into what we're talking about today.
Thank you, Professor Madiama. My name is Arinze Chukwu. I'm the executive director of You in Bloom, a non-profit organization situated in Denver, Colorado. I'm from Nigeria, or I'm originally from Nigeria. I attended a very local elementary school back in the days. And from there, I started pursuing a career. I went to my secondary school, which is called high school here or middle school here.
Yeah.
After that, I started pursuing a degree in electrical electronics engineering, where I graduated in 2005. And I started working for Ministry of Defense in my country for 10 years. So within that period of time, I met my beautiful wife, and it's been full time, a very good time. When I met her, I was everywhere, I was there. So when we met, and that was when I began to, try to find exactly what I wanted to be. I always believe I'm a good leader, but I never saw it until we met. So when we met, she began to try to help me to, to shape my mind towards becoming a better person and all that. So when she moved to America, and I told her, no, I'm not coming. I'm gonna be in Nigeria, because I believe that life in America was harder than Nigeria. So it was not my plan until she was able to convince me. And I came here about 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, and here we are. Thank you.
Okay, look, Arinze, I know more than you just shared.
Yeah.
Please talk to me about your life in the army in Nigeria, because you cannot skip that part.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Share.
The high school I went to was a military, we call it it's a military secondary school, but it's called high school here. So that's where I developed interest to be in the military. So I was in the military for a period of 10 years, and I was able to lead a lot of people. So that's where I actually learned leadership principles.
Yeah.
That's where I actually learned how to lead people, how to lead people of different ethnicity and people with different backgrounds. So that was from that period of time, I started tilting towards managing men and material. So that's about it.
Men and material. What do you mean by that?
Because what I mean by that, because every human being has different attributes and character.
That is true.
So when you are faced with managing different people with different attitude, you see that you find out that there are different ways or different ways that you can actually bring people together to achieve a common goal. If you don't apply those wisdom, you won't be able to achieve it, because people think differently and people act differently.
Yep.
So you need wisdom to be able to manage these people and with the retail resources that you have. That's what I mean, managing men and material.
That's beautifully explained. Thank you so much. Now, this will allow me to transition a little bit to Dr. Chioma here. You talked a little bit about your coming over the U.S. and wherever you work, but how was life in Nigeria?
Life in Nigeria, how do I explain that? We're fortunate growing up. Like they say, some people are born with silver spoons. I guess we're one of those. Growing up, I was born in Lagos. My mom, she used to work at the American Embassy back in Lagos. And then my dad found a job in Abuja with the federal government. So he moved to Abuja. I think that was National Assembly. That was back in the 80s. I'm old. Then he moved to Abuja. My mom was still at the American Embassy in Lagos. I think I was just a year old by then. And then my dad decided to, move everybody to Abuja. That was the capital of Nigeria. So we moved to Abuja. Then my mom picked up a job at the Hilton Hotel. I think it's called Transcorp now, but back then it was Nikon Noga Hilton Hotel. I still remember.
Oh.
We used to attend Christmas parties there and we used to have fun. I still have my childhood friends from then. They were expats from different countries, Netherlands, Portugal, and I still keep in touch with them till today, which is very fun. Facebook actually helped us, reconnect and things like that. So, growing up in Nigeria, it was good, diversity, because we lived in I don't know if it's called North. Abuja is North, Midwest, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But we are originally from the East, which is the Igbo tribe. So growing up in the North, most of my neighbors, they didn't understand English. All they could speak was the Hausa language. So we had to learn Hausa language, because we were part of that community. That's what made me not to learn my own language, because I was mixing up with Hausa friend. Igbo language.
Igbo.
Yes.
Sure.
So all I could speak was Hausa, because all my neighbors and friends were all Hausa. So people actually, whenever I would go to the market, I actually thought I was Fulani, because they said I looked like them, skinny and tall, like that. So.
Sister, that you look like Fulani. That's true.
So I always wear my house attire. Me and my friends would go out, just enjoy, have fun. And I had an older brother. He's passed away, God rest his soul. And I had my sister. Growing up, she's older than me. And then my mom later had my older brothers, two twin boys.
Wow.
Yeah, they were a handful growing up. And then we were in Abuja. We're kind of not really a big family, still, average. My dad was a pastor, so we go to church a lot. And now growing up in Nigeria it was good. It's different from some other experiences I hear, because when I came here to US, whenever I go to different places, I hear different stories of, in Nigeria, we came here for a better life and we didn't have anything in Nigeria. I couldn't relate to them, but actually empathize, with them and, hear their own views. And I said, thank goodness we were fortunate, growing up and things like that. So that's kind of my childhood. We're around politics a lot. And that's mostly about it.
Dr. Chioma, thank you so much.
Sure.
This will bring us really deep into the conversation now, why we're here. We're here to talk about a nonprofit organization that you guys already set up. The reason why I started with your stories back home is that I wanted to find out why, what is the seeds over there that actually are germinating right now to make you set up a non-profit organization where you are actually helping people. Because most of the time when people grow up in a certain way that they were at ease, just as you described with a silver spoon, usually they don't have the urge to help other people when they grow up because they might not relate to their difficulties. But here you guys are, lived a beautiful life in Nigeria. But when you came here, the first thing you thought of was to create a space for people to come and bloom. Could you guys talk to me a little bit about You in Bloom? What is the mission? Why it was created, and where do you intend to take it? Either one of you can start.
Okay, I can go first.
Okay. Yeah.
So the vision of You in Bloom actually started with me trying to do a clothing drive. So
Clothing drive.
yes. A supermodel. I'm signed up with an agency here in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
So I love fashion a lot. My husband knows that. I like to dress up a lot. My wardrobe is filled up. So I have friends who will come raid my wardrobe, go back home and things like that. So I'm like, okay, my friends are kind of fortunate. So why don't I look at giving these clothes to people who actually need it? And then in my part-time, my spare time, I help people prepare their resumes and also do some job coaching for them, prepare them for interviews. We do mock interviews and, just help them with their careers. Yes. So I always think that okay, some of these people, they haven't gotten a job in a long time. And, when you start work, you need to dress professionally to be there. First impression always matters. Yes. So I told my husband, hey, I think I should start a clothing drive. I know there's some other agency that does that. I can't recall the name. Dress for Success.
That's
yeah. So
and everyone in this.
So I was like, okay, something similar to that. I haven't seen an African person do that before. So maybe I'll be the first African person in the community doing that for, my people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I first thought. And then my husband said to me, hey, Chioma, do you know the vision can go much, much broader than that? So I'm like, how so? How so? He said, okay, with your expertise, you used to teach poise, etiquette, career readiness, things like that for other places you worked for. So why don't you bring that experience to a nonprofit to help them not just, look good at the job? Imagine they dress up, go to work, and what next?
But they don't know how to handle themselves.
They don't know how to handle themselves.
Wow.
So that's actually a good part. Because whenever we say poise and etiquette, people think it's how to sit straight, how to eat with fork and knife, and things like that. But that's not just everything. There's, first impression, how you conduct yourself in the office, how you relate with people. Most people, they treat the workplace like a social gathering, which is not so.
It is not.
So if you teach them, how to do these things, it will help a lot. And then my husband has a passion for leadership. He has a passion for ethics and integrity.
Yep.
So he said it can be a fusion. So he can actually bring, young people as well, teach them ethics, integrity, reduce. Imagine the government is spending money on, prisons and things like that. Why don't that resource go to preventing these people from going to prison?
Exactly.
So I said, that's a good idea. We can, make a fusion and do something, for the society, for our community.
Mm.
So that's how You in Bloom was formed. It was both ideas that came together.
My beautiful wife has said it.
I just
And but I just want to put something. I want to say something. Growing up, I've always had passion to develop young people. So whenever I meet young people, one of the things that comes to my head was, how can you become better version of you?
Yes.
So that has been my passion, all the time. So I remember when I was younger, and whenever I go out with my friends, because I feel that we were more wealthy than them.
Mm.
So they look at me, they will be like, maybe we go to stores, and they want me to. They could not afford some of the things that I could afford.
Mm.
And when I ask them, okay, you can pick whatever you want, and they end up picking something that is cheap because they don't want to, take where they cannot afford.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really like, do you know what? Let me help you, develop yourself. And so that when you go out to shop, you can actually afford whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So that was always my dream, to make people, to develop people, to help people to become. I was looking at one time in my life, I had a challenge, and I needed about 5,000 naira. That was back in Nigeria, which is about, maybe let me say $20. I don't know, maybe.
Wow.
So,
okay.
And I was younger. I screwed through my phone. I couldn't find any of my friends that could give me that, that could lend me that for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that was when it came to my mind. I was okay, you know what? Everyone that is in my life, what I'm going to do is to help all of us to become. Is to become. So that when I have a challenge, I could call on anybody.
Yes.
Not just everyone depending on me, but for all of us to come together to form a big community where we can all help each other when we need it. So, one of the first things I discovered is that young people don't know their purpose on time. They don't know their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of people longer time to find their purpose.
Absolutely.
So you see, so these are the things that actually, that has always been someone I feel that is inherent in me. So when my wife was talking about, clothes drive, so I told her, no, there's more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have what it takes to do something more than just sharing clothes. And I told her that you go to different organizations, they give clothing here and there.
Yes.
Let's do something outside giving food bank or clothing drive. So that was when I told her, okay, I know that you have this. You've taught person etiquette. You were a model. You won Miss African USA. Bring all these expertise. Then I brought my own idea. Then we fused it together. And since then, God has been helping us. And we're happy where we are today.
This is really beautiful. And what I'm hearing is that there is a Chinese proverb that says, give a man a fish, you feed him a day.
Yeah.
But teach them how to fish and you feed them a lifetime. Mm-hmm. So instead of doing a closed drive, giving out clothes to people that will just temporarily solve a problem.
Yeah.
But if you transform who they are, if you make them believe in themselves, if you make them have the power to go get that themselves, it is way more powerful.
Yeah.
Thank God you guys talked about that and were able to fusion your ideas and get this going. But let me ask you this. You and I talked about this before. The original idea or something that you had in mind was also to fight cybercrime. But then instead of like really fighting cybercrime, you go into yourself and prepare those kids so that when they have the ethical values, they will not even be thinking of doing cybercrime. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, when I came to this country few years ago, I remember I met one guy. I was working somewhere and this guy was watching me from afar. After some time, he approached me and he said, without supervision, you could still do what you are doing, without, most people, when their supervisors are not around, they pretend. So I didn't know he was watching me from afar and he was like, can I work for him? I said, sure, So while we were talking, he asked me where I was. He said, you have accent? I said, yes. He said, you have an accent? I said, yes. He now said, okay. Where are you from? I said, I'm from Nigeria. And I noticed that he pulled back. So I asked him, why do you pull back? I said, do you know Nigeria? He said, yeah. I said, what do you know about Nigeria? He said, a lot of scam mails. So when he said that, I was broken because I know that there are a lot of Nigerians with integrity.
Yeah.
So it happened more than 5 times and 5 different places. So I was like, okay, you know what? I think it's not just going to be, I'm going to start something someday. So when my wife and I were talking about this organization, so we also plan to fight crime, but not just fighting the crime, telling people not to go into crime, but to shift this, to help young people with something called mindset shift, to be able to know that, if I can become a better person, in society, that means I don't have to go into crime, So that is why we came up with something called ethical rebate. Ethical rebate initiative, yeah.
Wow.
So it's part of our non-profit program.
What is that? Can you go into details with that?
Okay, ethical rebate, just like it is named ethics.
Yes.
It's just to change the way people think. It has to do with telling young people that this is what is in vogue right now, but you can do something better. Yeah, crime is something that if you go into it in less than 1 month, 2 months, you could make a lot of money, but remember, you could go to jail.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you could enjoy that money for 1 month, 2 months, but you could spend the rest of your life in jail. So we are having a program in February 21st called Ethical Rebate Conference. So it's going to be, the topic we are talking about is choose your heart. So
choose your heart.
Yeah, choose your heart. Yeah, jail is hard. Being responsible in society is hard. So choose which one. So
that is so beautiful. Look, I can spend the whole day with you guys talking about this because I know how passionate you are about it. But it seems like there is a clear-cut division in the organization, even though it is not spoken. it looks like you're dealing with young people, train their mind, train their mindset, and help them make a shift, while Dr. Chioma is dealing with the ladies. Can you talk to me a little bit about the program that you have for wives?
Okay, so yeah, that's my baby.
Yes.
It's called Wife Alive.
Wife Alive. Yeah.
So I think oftentimes you hear women saying, oh, I was this size when I got married, but now I'm this other size. Oh, I don't go out to see my friends anymore because the kids are home. Oh, I don't have time. I need to rush home and cook dinner. Like, when they get married or get in relationships or have children, they tend to lose themselves. They tend to lose their own identity. And then this brings about so many mental health issues like low self-esteem, depression, or it could bring a lot of bad things could happen, due to, people losing themselves. So Wife Alive is a program designed to, have women find themselves again. We also have mothers with kids that have special needs. Their life is just centered around that child. But they also still, need to have time for themselves to do other things. So the program is designed to have mothers, have like a wellness circle. We talk, we discuss, we chat. We have trips, go out, do things, have spa dates with a group of women. Just go out, have fun for the day. And if you need childcare, we will provide that. All the kids will, be in one spot with, certified trained childcare specialists while we have the mothers go, enjoy themselves. And it's also for couples as well, married couples. Say, for instance, a husband doesn't know that there's something he's doing that is making his wife, not to feel good, or therefore just not to make her feel good, basically. Like, say, for instance, a mother is always the one doing the house chores, always the one cooking. And then just that little moment where the husband can pick a spoon and wash it for her, or that little moment where he can pick up the kid and say, hey, go to bed, I'll take care of the baby tonight. Just those little things matters. And some men, they overlook it. They don't know. They don't know that those little things matters. It matters even better than taking them out on a date or buying flowers. That little help in the house, it counts. So we educate, husbands as well to let them know, hey, these little things matter as well, because we have programs designed for them as well. And we also have a marriage therapist on our committee. So we'll have her sometimes. We'll go, rent like a mansion or Airbnb where 4 families can come together. We'll have the marriage therapist in the house. We'll get a celebrity chef, teach the couples how to cook. Then we will have breakout sessions for, marriage counseling. Then we can go into town, somewhere different, look around town, tour, just have fun for that weekend, more like a retreat. So that program is just to refreshing relationships, refreshing the wives, refreshing mothers, let them know, you can still be yourself even if you're married. Because most times whenever I ask someone, hey, tell me about yourself. Oh, I'm a mother, I have 2 children. No, I didn't ask you if you're a mother or have 2 children. Who are you? So sometimes they lose up
that is powerful.
Yeah, who are you?
Yes.
I didn't ask you if you're married or if you have kids. Who are you? Who is Chioma? Who are you? So I watched an interview, and a lady, they asked her, hi, nice to meet you, and what's your name? Oh, my name is Martha, and I have 2 kids. And no, we're asking you, who are you? So yeah, we're just trying to bring back that identity to the wives, mothers, and women in general.
And I think what you just mentioned about who are you is so powerful, because nowadays many of us tend to identify ourselves with what we do or where we are at life.
Yes.
And that is really deeper than that. When you ask somebody, who are you? And they give you their names, I'm like, well, your name is not who you are. It was given to you by your parents at birth. But really taking the time to make a deep dive into like who you are, finding yourself, it will not only help you elevate yourself, but elevate people around you. Because if you don't know who you are, you cannot really place value or even have people value you in a certain way, because yourself, you don't understand who you are. Let me get back to Arinze here. I heard you talk about something that I can say That was really the first time that I've ever heard it. Dinner with whales.
Oh my God.
Talk to me about dinner
That's
with whales.
really too.
Okay.
Look, that's what I said. It looks like in this organization, you guys like has a clear division who's doing what, and it is not spoken. You just do it. But I know when I say dinner with whales,
Yeah.
look at how you did. Oh my God. Please talk to me about that.
Okay. The initiative, or the idea came when my wife and I were somewhere in Nigeria, and we were actually watching young people just wandering around and all that. So I told my wife, why don't we just get like create something that could bring these young people together in a very conducive environment, meaning over the table, I was telling my wife, you are eating dinner with maybe a very successful, known successful individual. Now, when I mean successful, I mean people that made success through the right means, not just people that we can't actually identify the way they made their own source of wealth.
Very important. Very important.
Yeah. So bringing some of these people that you know their track record of how they made their wealth. And I give my wife example. They say a well-known Nigerian called Dangote. And I was telling my wife,
yeah.
And I was telling my wife that the vision is to bring Dangote to sit with 15-year-old boy, 16-year-old girl, 18-year-old people together in a very conducive environment where they can have dinner with this guy and he'll tell them his story. I told him that the reason is that many young people see the success story, but they don't know the process. They don't see the struggle.
Say that again.
Yeah.
They know the success story, but they don't know the process.
The process, yeah. So the essence is for whom to actually educate these young people on the process, the route to that success that they see. Many people see success, but they don't see the work behind. Yes. So this was sometimes in 2000. This idea was like 2018 or thereabout. So we sat down one day and we were looking at the name, I told my wife, we'll call it Dinner with the Wheels. The reason why it's wheels is that what prepares your car? The wheels, right?
I was going to ask you that actually.
So what prepares your car? The wheels. No matter how much your engine generates, and there's no car to move it forward, so you're not going to move anywhere. So these are the movers and the shakers of our environment. So based on that, we now plan to bring it into Year in Bloom. What does that mean? We're having a cohort that is going to run for 6 months.
Okay.
Because I told you that what we're trying to do is to bring our ideas together. All that we've known, to bring it. We are bringing it to the table to teach young people about poise and etiquette, mindset transformation, and critical thinking, and career development, and mental health, resilience, and all that. So we are bringing all together. We're going to teach these young people for 6 months. So at graduation, that's when we're now going to do Dinner with the Wheels. So we are actually bringing some of these people that will come and that will sit with these young people at the graduation. So I used to say, imagine me sitting with the President of America, having dinner with him. I will never forget that experience.
Not this one, though. Not the current one.
Okay. Imagine me sitting with a very successful, business guy that I've been looking up to. Or let's assume I'm sitting with Messi. Messi is I'm a fan of Messi.
Yeah.
And imagine me sitting down over the table eating with Messi. I will never forget that experience. If any advice he gave me that day, I will hold it dear to my life. So that's what we're trying to bring to these young people, bringing great mind. In fact, we call it dinner with the world, sit with greatness. Yes. Yeah. So bringing them to sit with great mind at graduation so that they can have an impact in them.
Let me tell you this, like, even in this country, most of the time when people talk about personal development and stuff like that, you are always encouraged to read biographies, people who've been there, done that, like whatever it is that you want to do. Now, you guys will not just ask them to read about it, but you will ask them to sit with those people and actually rub feathers with them.
Yeah.
Get the power from them, get the knowledge from them, because I am guessing that through the course of that conversation, even if it was 45 minutes or 30 minutes, the impact will be so strong. Just as you said, you are a fan of Messi. If you sat down with him and he's telling you about stuff, you will never forget that. Look, this is so beautiful of an idea that I truly believe that it will already start to make big impact around here. Chioma, I'll come back to you.
Sure.
Last month, I don't remember exactly. I think it was
31st. 30th. December 30th.
December 30th. You guys organized something that was called a vision board party. I was sharing with you before we start recording that, like, in my humble opinion, it was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Thank you.
Because I always said, look, if you can serve people in a way that they've never been served, if you introduce something to them that is changing who they are, that's what I call success.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you guys came with that idea and walk me through the process of making it a reality.
Okay, so me doom scrolling on social media when I have my own alone time without the kids or the husband. So I saw a vision board event in Colorado Springs. And I looked there, I'm like, oh, the edits looked so fun, you know. And I looked in there and I didn't see people of color in there. So because our people, they don't really know what a vision board party is. So when I saw it, I saved the video. I'm like, I need to bring this to our community. Like whenever I tell my husband, hey, I found something new, I need to bring it to our church people. I need to bring it to our community. So let them enjoy, you know, what everyone else is enjoying.
Yes.
So when I saw that video, I told my husband, hey, we're going to do a vision board party. I'm going to call you out. What is that? No, I'm not going to do that. Nobody's going to come. They don't know what it is. No.
My friend, wrong.
I said, they don't know what it is, but they will know what it is. We are going to make them know what it is. It's very beneficial. It's a visual of what you want to do with your life.
Yes.
People have plans. Yes. Like, oh, next year I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to work out more, I want to do this, do that. But it's all in their mind. They can save it on their phone or in a piece of paper in a journal. And they close the page, that's it. But vision board is a board you can post up anywhere. And it's going to remind you of, hey, I made a promise I'm going to do this year. Let me go back to it. So I told my other, we're going to do this with our community. And you know, as a nonprofit, we've been, you know, using personal funds to do things because it's our passion to, you know, make that impact in the community. So I told my husband, as a nonprofit, we're doing things for the community. Why don't we, you know, try to look for grants and things so that we can, you know, fund our dreams and the dreams of other people.
Yes.
So I started reaching out to, you know, different communities that help with venues. So I had some responses, and then the Women's Foundation of Colorado, you know, responded back. And I'm like, oh, this one actually, you know, resonates more with me. So I picked that venue. So I went to look at the venue, looked good, looked great. So I started to plot, you know, what are we going to do to make this party fun. So I talked to my husband. I'm like, okay, we're going to start. We'll introduce ourselves, you and Bloom. We'll buy the materials, you know, station it different places, you know, tell them what the vision board is all about and all of that. Then the flyer was made. sent out invitations. I'm in a lot of groups. So I sent invitation out in different groups. And then we got so many responses, RSVPs. And then on the day of the event, my friends, some people are inspiring, what's a vision board? What's a vision board?
Yes.
So I told my husband, man, I should have made a video prior to this event to show them a sample of, hey, this is what my vision board looks like. I want to see yours at the event. So I'm like, oh, I should have done that. I didn't think about it. So I thought quickly, I'm like, okay, so I'll go one by one to tables. Hey, this is what it looks like. I'm like, okay, this is not effective. So we got Tracy, our lead volunteer. She's wonderful.
Yes, she is.
We got
She's phenomenal.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
So she explained what a vision board is. She even asked, who knows what a vision board is? And maybe 2 or 3 hands in the crowd. So that actually made me happy because I'm like, oh, yes, I'm actually doing something. They'll remember, hey, we did a vision board with you in Bloom. We never knew what that was. And that's a story to tell. It's impacted, So I even got feedback from one of the mothers. She wasn't there, but she sent her kids to corporate vision board party. She said, vision boards all over my fridges. I think she has 4 or 5 children. Yeah. So she had like 5 vision board posted everywhere, and every time, oh, mommy, we need to do that. We need to do that. So I was so happy hearing that. So this actually made an impact. And then during the vision board event, we told them we're going to reach out in 6 months to see how you're doing with your goals. We're not going to wait to the end of the year. Yeah. And they said, oh, the year is wasted. I didn't do it. Let's try again next year. Now we're going to try halfway through the year and, see where they are with those goals. If they're struggling, we'll see how we can come in as UMD to help them achieve those goals. So that's what that vision board party was all about. And I'm so glad it was a success. Yeah.
Look, I've attended 2 of your events already. The first one was the launch. The second one was the vision board party. But it looks like you guys are already, you were born to do this. Like when you organize, not only people show up, there's always quality people who are there in the room responding, but also the way everything is organized is always impeccable. One thing that I really loved though was the boom box at the launch. Any one of you can talk about the boom box.
It's a baby.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's learn.
Boombox. So where do I'm not going to tell my secrets, but I have of products in my house.
Yes.
I mean a lot.
Yes.
So I give out gifts. Most likely I have a lot of products in my house. So I give out gifts, just occasionally, things like that. So I'm like, okay, part of the non-profits, why don't we give gifts out? My husband said, okay, yeah, that's a nice one. But in what way are we going to give gifts out? I didn't think about it. So a friend of mine graduated from CNA class. And then I saw people posting her congratulations, but she never told me she did that. So I called her. I'm like, hey, congrats. I didn't know you had your CNA. She said, oh, CNA is so little. It's too little. You're a doctor. I can't compete with you. I'm like, what do you mean by that? So she couldn't tell me she had CNA license because she didn't think it was worth celebrating. I said, no, don't say that. That's a feat. That's something you achieved.
Absolutely.
So I told my husband, we need to find how to celebrate these people. And my husband actually had this idea of celebrating ways. I'm sure we're going to talk about.
I wanted to ask him that.
So, I'm like, let's celebrate them in different ways. Of course, my wheel is always spinning. I'm like, what do we do? I said, okay, you know what? People need healing from different things. They're grieving. So why don't we make a healing bloom box to put like care items in there? Boom. People need, self-care and things like that. Why don't we make a self-care bloom box where we put, self-care items in there? Boom. Let's make a celebrate you with bloom box, which is when you graduate or achieve something and then we put something to celebrate you together in the bloom box.
Yeah.
And then we have back to school bloom box where we put, back to school items for kids. So we're just expanding with different kind of bloom boxes. So I put a celebrating bloom box for my friend and I offered it to her. She was so happy. Right now she got her LPN, got her RN. So she said that actually made her, strive for more because she didn't expect that, that was a win. I said, no, everything you achieve is a win. Every milestone is a win. If you don't see that you're winning, you'll never win.
Absolutely.
Basically.
Absolutely.
So that's where the idea of the Bloom Box came from.
This organization is so young, but it is so old in terms of achievements, like what you've already putting out there, and it is completely something new. It doesn't look like that you guys are looking at what other people are doing and try to modify it and do a version of it. What I get from you two is that you know how to run your own race.
Yeah.
Just as you told that lady, she was not able to celebrate her CNA because you have a doctor's degree. What does it matter?
No.
We have to run our own race.
Yeah.
You know, I usually tell people, you are your own, the only competition that you have is you.
Yeah.
If you can see yourself if you could look at yourself in the mirror and you are the better version of who you were yesterday, you're already winning.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend, can you talk to me about celebrating wins?
Oh, celebrating win is a great idea, but I'll give the kudos to you for celebrating win. I'll give the kudos to you because I'm someone that when I go out, I'm always I listen a lot. So when I listen to people, I try to to develop what I've heard from them. So one of the days that Madiama is my coach. He's a very good coach, a very wonderful coach. He has been coaching me for some months right now. He has it all. He has great mind. Yeah. So when
talk about that too.
Yeah. We're going to talk about Madiama. Madiama is a wonderful guy. So one of those days, we're in the class and we're talking and he talked about, people need to celebrate every little win. And Chioma has always had this bloom box, celebrating people via bloom box. So I got home and I told Chioma, we're going to take this bloom box to something bigger. And that is we're going to call the program Celebrating Wins. And I told her every step, like for me, I believe that the best gift that God gave me is my wife. So for every time,
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. So me, I celebrate my wife like every day because I believe that she's my win. So I told my wife we're gonna do like an annual celebration. We're gonna title Celebrating Win, where people come and celebrate whatever. It could be celebrating 1 month in marriage. It could be celebrating the little certificate you get. Because most people commit suicide because they feel that they are not going, they are empty.
Yes.
But you are not alone. Every single progress is a win. So that's how Celebrating Win came, and is going to be sometimes in August. We are in partnership with a lot of people, and I believe that it's going to turn out very well.
It's not just celebrating; it's celebrating resilience.
Yeah.
People go through a lot, and they come out of it, intergenerational trauma, different things. So Celebrating Wins is a mental health program, not just that fun festival. It has other deep meanings to it.
Absolutely. Yes. Can you share some of those?
Sure. Like, say for instance, people try to break cycles of different things. Let me just give a funny example. Like maybe as a kid, you're in the back seat and you say, "Mom, I want to eat McDonald's." She said, "We'll have McDonald's at home." And then you, as the kid in the back seat, becomes an adult, and your kid in the back seat says, "I want McDonald's." And you know that you can actually provide this thing for the kid. So why not have that kid eat McDonald's and have that memory of, oh, my mom made me enjoy my childhood? Why don't you break that cycle? So breaking that cycle, you just cut off that, that chain of poverty or whatever it is. And then also, I don't go too deep with mental health stuff, but I think I'll just stop there.
Look, it has been a real pleasure to have you around discussing like all of these ideas about you in Bloom. Now, is there anything that you guys would like to add or to talk about that I didn't get a chance to ask you?
I said to myself, 2026, I won't take no for an answer. If it's something I want and it's going to be beneficial to you, I won't be selfish about it. It's something I want, so I want it right now. No, I'm not going to take no for an answer 2026 as long as it's going to be beneficial for both parties. Like, the nonprofit is very young, yet very old, like you said. I've been knocking on doors that they say it's unlockable. We've been knocking on those doors, and I know a partnership is going to be beneficial for both of us. So I'll knock on your door. They say, oh, they don't go to these people. I'll go there, and get a response. Like whenever I get an email back or call back, I just look at my husband like, he said yes. They said yes. He said, Chioma, you actually said something last. You said that you will not take no for an answer this year. I see, it's just January and you're already doing that. I said, that's 2026. And then I'll say, I don't agree, So 2026, I'm not going to take no for an answer. And I advise you, if it's something you think that's beneficial for both parties, I don't want you to take no for an answer. Or like my husband was talking about mindset transformation. So people always feel, I can't. You can, and you will, and you do. So that's just an advice I want to give to people out there. Don't take no for an answer. You can do it. You just have to change your mindset. Like, you won't believe that I'm so shy. Like, I used to be so shy. I was in pageantry. I was a one-woman model. But once the camera come on, I catwalk back and forth. I go back to the dressing room and I go back to my shell again. So even during the luncheon, I think I said, look at me standing for everybody speaking. On a usual day, I cannot even talk, to people like that. But
you look like a natural to me. You look like a natural.
I look out of my shell, and you see, this is where I am today, networking, breaking cycles and helping the community. And yeah, that's about it.
Anything you want to add?
Yeah, for me, I just want people to be real. Just make sure that everyone you meet on the way is important. The person doesn't have to have big name. Everyone you meet on the way. I remember the guy that helped me when I came to America, Darrell. He was just a handyman, but through him, I was able to meet a lot of people that I know today.
Wow.
That have actually helped us even in our organization. So everyone you meet on the way is key. Could be your saving grace. So just hold on to people, meet new people, don't be an island. Don't walk alone.
That is wisdom right there. Yes. That is wisdom right there. Look, I thought I didn't have anything to add, but something just came up to my mind, and I need to ask you this. Like, if somebody who's watching right now and is impressed about the work that you do, and they would like to either volunteer, partner, or just contact you, what would they do?
You can reach out to us through our website, www.youinbloom.org, or you can send me a direct email at Chioma, CHIOMA, @youinbloom.org. That's .org. So you can reach out to us. We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can reach out to us through those channels, or the email I just provided, and our website as well. We have a contact us form on there.
Well, thank you so much again for accepting my invitation, but also for you at home or wherever you were watching at. I would like to take this moment to thank you deeply for lending us your time and learning about these two beautiful individuals. Until next time, if you know anyone who should be interviewed like this, please get in touch with me and I will make it happen. As always, take care of yourself and your loved ones. I am Madiama, and this is Mentium. Peace.